Good morning. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit more about myself to go ahead and clear up anything in case there's any disclaimers or anything like that from YouTube or whatever platform. These words that I say have come from within, from above, from the Father. Not no one else. I wouldn't bring anything that wasn't been put on my heart by the Father, because that's not the purpose here. We're all here for an awakening. We're all here to come back to remembrance about the Father and come back to where we would belong and not be caught up into this world. Right now I'm here on my family's property and learning some things about that I didn't even know about my own family in the past. And I'm here with spirits. My family's here. My grandfather passed away here. My grandmother passed away here. Many years before that, my uncle passed away on this property. And at that time, he was 3 years old, and the priest came out and blessed this property, which makes sense why this property has always felt so home-like and natural and just has this attraction feeling of just peace here. And my uncle recently passed here as well. So I have many spirits here with me of my ancestors, I guess you could say, in this generation of life and many others. But I want to say that for anything that I say is from within myself or some experience that I've been through. And I use I statements a lot because I've been an addict on methamphetamines. I went to rehab, and we learned to own what the things that we do. In other words, make an I statement. Yes, I did that. Yes, I caused that pain. Yes, I instilled this argument in this fight. However it may be, make an I statement, which means you claim authorship and ownership of your own actions. So that's why a lot of times I'll say I statements like that myself, and also because this is my testimony. These are the truths that I found through my life and experience being here in this spirituality and understanding of Father. Not anybody else's. I searched my own truths all the way out, and I'm still learning truths about myself. But I want to make a disclaimer saying to YouTube or anybody else on their platforms, or if this is shared anywhere else, again, these are all my words given to me by my Father, not anybody else. No one has twisted my arm to say anything. No one has convinced me or bribed me or any of these other psychological devaluations that come around. Being on this property and it being blessed is something I heard on my transformation out. I'm saying my transformation out of society, let's call it that, because I've recently went mobile, as you can see, and I'm trying to get off grid and get away from this society we're in, where everybody's just lost their mind and gone crazy, and all they want to do is feed on another person and eat off of them, have no care for another, and compassion is gone. We're trying to bring it back. But being here, I heard before I left to get mobile that I would have to come back to my beginnings, which was here on this property. See, I was almost born in another country. My parents moved back here on just an amount of time that right before I was born just happened to be, came back to this property here in this house that's here. And also, this is where I first began my spirituality, because as a young boy, I could pick up on things that most people couldn't understand yet. And the only person here that understood that was my grandmother. and who she was, what she taught me, which led me down a path of a whole learning and understanding. This is basically where a lot of my spirituality kind of began. And speaking on that, I'll show you how synchronicities and things like that work. And when you're falling on the path, many of you see numbers 111, 222. Yeah, I do too. But I see synchronicities on a different level, in a spiritual aspect that is in its physical form through people. So we're in here cleaning out some of the house, and forget some of what you see here. I just want you to pay attention to the main picture here, which is actually a piece of glass with Jesus' face on it that we found. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's Jesus' face on a piece of glass. Now, it may come off of an old picture or something, but that doesn't matter to me. I know that's Jesus speaking to me, letting me know I'm where I should be, and coming across my own final truths, I guess you could say. Something else that needs to be known is these aren't even really my true messages. You see, I have spiritual gifts and a spiritual nature that I really can't share. I need a more secluded spot to do so, or maybe face-to-face is easier. But these aren't even my true messages. I'm just aligning with what the Father gave me to do. You may think you have one purpose here, but actually you have more than one. And you can ask for purposes while you're experiencing other things here. Just depends on what you really want to do. This is an whole experience here in this life. It's up to you to make your choices. You're given that freedom here. It's just, are you making the right choices? There's those I statements again, could say I didn't make the right choices a lot when I was younger. But what I went through did teach me to where I am supposed to be today. So it doesn't matter, in truth and reality, even if you fall off the path, if the Father has you in His hands and has a purpose truly for you on a deeper nature, you can't run from it. You can try, believe me, I know, but you can't run from it. So, all these sayings and messages and things are now flooding into me. I'm seeing things on a multi-dimensional level of, I can't really explain that yet. I just need to stay with me to catch on to some of these other truths. Some of you, as we've talked about before, being sown and planted. Some of you are in this with thistles and thorns and cannot receive this message yet. But I just want to make it sure and clear that everybody understands that these messages are from the Father. They're not something I've construed, made up. These are all true experiences from myself. I hope everyone has a very beautiful day today. May God give you the purpose given to you to fulfill, whether it be to feed a homeless person, whether it be to help someone rendering aid, whether it be to speak and sow the seed or tend the garden. Our purpose here is to bring heaven to earth. Much love to everybody. It's going to get cold. Keep your crown. Keep your armor. And always be ready for righteousness.